Video is starting. Hello, everybody. Hello. Let's do this so I can see what's going on. There we go. All right. We have a video going. Our live is going here. Gonna let some people join right on the nose at 1 p.m. Hello, Tony. Oops. Get out of that. Okay. Gotta make sure I take the dings off so that I can actually, not be interrupted during this whole thing. Hi, Tony. Great to see you. Fabulous, fabulous. I bought this pink microphone just for this reason, and it seems to be doing the job perfectly fine. Hello, Jane, Suzanne, tuning in from snowy Germany. Oh, well, hello from Croatia. Hello. Well, everybody, we're going to give it a little bit of time here so that we can let people join for Choose Your Champion. I'm super excited to talk about it. And Suzanne has already started this, but could you just say hello and tell me where you are tuning in from? Isn't it great, Tony? Isn't it great? I think it's great. So we got Germany, we got Croatia, we got Finland. Oh, Finland, beautiful, beautiful country. The one thing I didn't like when I visited Finland, though, I had no idea that the darkness only lasts 3 hours. We got Northern Ireland. Hello, welcome. Hi, Jane. Yes, Northern Ireland. All right. I'm gonna give it about 3 minutes, about 5 after here, so we can wait for more people to join. Yeah. So New York City, great city, one of my faves in the country. Yeah. So when I was signing up for my time slot, I'm like, this sounds perfect, and then I realized I was following Mary Kay Greer. So talk about intimidating. How many of you? I love anything Mary Kay Greer. Like I just loved watching her and listening to her because it's like there's always going to be some wonderful nugget that I'm going to get from it. So did you guys enjoy Mary's talk just as much as I did? I thought that was phenomenal. Yeah. I thought it was great. From Kentucky. Yay. Okay, welcome Cheryl. Welcome. I got to switch my chair around because I'm rolling over my dress here. Oh, absolutely incredible. I've got so many of her books. In fact, some of the information I'll be presenting to you today, I got from Mary Kay Greer's book. From her book, Who Are You in Tarot? I had to look because I wanted to make sure I got the right title here. So yeah. Yeah, oh no, absolutely, Evie, yeah. Holland, hello, Joe. Yeah, no, I think it's one of those ones where, I mean, everybody, I'm going to watch them so many times over because there's just so much wonderful stuff that I'm learning and picking up. And, I love doing these because you never know what new thing you're going to come up with or what new thing you're going to learn or new perspective you're going to learn. I think these are so much fun to do. And this is why I'm going to present to you hopefully something a little new involving signifiers and all of that. I've got stories to share, all of this. Hello from Belgium. Hello, Mimi. All right, we're going to give it about another minute here, and then we will jump on in to Choose Your Champion. While we're giving it this final minute here, every so often, Alvia, that sounds great. If you would have known, I would have joined you, but this would have stayed in the sauna. So just a quick heads up, friends. I am fostering a kitten right now, so if you hear a little meowing, or if you just see me look over to my left here, her bed's right next to me, and I'm just checking in on her. She's napping right now, and if she wakes up and perks up a bit, she might make an appearance in a little bit. But yeah, her name is Cypress, and we're watching over her right now because I'm mom on duty right now, and yeah, I just want to make sure she is okay. Cat, yes, we do. We love our little kitties, don't we? Okay, it is 1:05. I'm gonna go ahead and dive on in, friends. Welcome to Choose Your Champion, working with signifiers. For those of you I have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Stella Boem. I am the owner of Queen of Glam Tarot. I am based in Orlando, Florida, but oh no, we might have to start a thread that's just kitten pictures because in this day and age, kitten pictures, cat pictures, dog pictures, animal pictures just make life so wonderful. So, all right, back on track. So, welcome again, friends. My name is Stella Boem. I'm the owner of Queen of Glam Tarot. I'm based out of Orlando, Florida, and thanks to the beauty of the internet and a wonderful connection, fast internet connections, I can now be all over the world with you. And we are today. I'm going to talk about signifiers. So, I always like to I always like to start off with a story about my just experience in tarot. So let's try that again. So I started reading tarot when I was 14 years old, and it'll be 30 years next summer when I turn 44. It'll be my 30th year of being a tarot reader, and back in the 90s, when we used to get the tarot cards in the tuck box with the little white book, you could only shove so much information on those little white books. And I remember hearing about signifiers, significators, I believe they used to call them as well. And I never understood what that meant. I never knew what that got. Literally, I was like, what is a significator? I would learn later on that it's literally just the person that you're centering the focus, the reading around. So, as I grew up, and grew up in my path on tarot, I threw it out the window. I'm just like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm just going to see what happens. At the time, I was not doing readings for anybody else, just for myself. So I'm just going to see. It's all from my perspective. I want to do this for myself, and that's where I started. And as time would go on, because the other thing too is despite my natural red hair, they used to say things like the Queen of Wands is a red-headed woman in your family. Well, most of my family is Japanese, so there aren't very many redheads in a Japanese family, so it made no sense. So, yeah, it used to just throw me for a loop. So I finally threw it out, said I'm just going to learn and do it the way, trust my intuition, just do it my own way. Well, fast forward to, I'd say probably about 2-3 years ago, and definitely this year, I started learning Lenormand, Kipper, the other types of cartomancy that really I wanted to learn because I really wanted to get give me a direct answer, give me the nitty gritty, give me that good stuff. And having read some of the books on it, having taken Tony's course through the World Divination Association, something really struck me. And that was choosing a card to represent the message that you want to receive. So you might choose a card for work, you might choose a card for relationship, friendship, money. Of course, you have your you have the lady and the gentleman in the traditional Lenormand deck, and the principal 1, principal 2 in Kipper. And all of a sudden, learning that significator and signifier made sense. So I started working with them a little bit more and started saying, well, how do I develop a system that can help others figure out different signifiers, significators for their situation? And that is what I've put together for you here today. So big thank you to Tony for that Kipper, for the Lenormand level 1. It put so many things in perspective for me. But how many of you have had that just kind of confusing, I'm reading about this, and what on earth are they talking about? Yeah. Put in the comments section here, because you guys know I like to have a conversation. So put in the comments section here. How many of you just got super confused on just things when it comes to this, that, the other? So, you guys get what you guys picking up what I'm putting down here, as the kids say today. I guess the kids still say it. I don't know, but it got me to thinking more and more about signifiers, significators, and how to use them. So now, now I'm like, I'm comfortable with this, and I'm here to share with you a little bit of what I learned. So today we're going to go over a couple. So what card I would like to remember? Oh, Stevie Ann, yes, that one especially because what they don't often tell you is that you could have a significator for the day or for the year, but it doesn't mean that's who you're going to be the entire time. Like, today I decided, like, let's take a look. If you can see my eyeshadow here, because I love eyeshadow. Today I did all neutrals. So today I'm feeling very Empress like. Today I'm feeling like the Empress card. A little more neutral, a little more calm, a little more nurturing, especially with my little cypress kitty next to me. And some days I'm the emperor. Sometimes I want to get out there and I want to put down the law and I want to set some structures and set the boundaries. Some days I'm a magician. I want to be like, if I'm in the kitchen, I'm putting things together, I want to create. And it never was really fully explained to me that your significator or signifier can change in so many different ways. Sometimes it can change moment to moment throughout the day. You might be 2, 3, 4, 10 different signifiers. So I love Lenormand for directness. I missed that in tarot more card. Exactly. So today I'm going to give you 3 different methods to help you choose a significator for yourself. And my philosophy is this: take what works. If it works for you, use it, run with it, add your own little twist to it, add your own little glitter to it. If it doesn't quite zing with you, you will not offend me by saying, I tried it, didn't quite work out. So use it and take it and run with it and go with it, and let us jump on into it. All right, let me catch something. So yeah, I don't feel I understand how to choose them if I'm going to pick them out of a spread, as I've already relayed, as opposed to pick. Okay, thank you, Cheryl. You like to explain why I might even want a significant? Yeah, Suzanne. Okay, I can do that. So let's jump on into the talk here. So let's start with Suzanne's question. Why would you want to use a signifier? For me, signifiers work very well when I need a focus. So typically in my week, I will just do a 3-card spread for myself. I will just say, what do I need to know today? 3 cards. It gives me the 3 cards and off we go. However, especially during times of conflict, of frustration, of help me understand, which has been kind of my month lately, like help me understand with everything that's going on, I've come to find that my brain gets so scattered and my mind gets so scattered on the message that I want that I can't always get a clear message from the tarot. Using a signifier helps me, one, take my emotions out of the situation. I can imprint my emotion on that card and say, okay, so this is me, and it's kind of like looking at a chessboard. It's hard to see all the pieces when I'm on the chessboard trying to figure out which path or which way I'm going to go. But if I can take myself out of that and look at the chessboard from the top down, all of a sudden I can get a clearer picture on what strategies to take, what move to make. The other thing is that it helps focus. It helps me focus. If I get very, very scattered messages, having a signifier can help me focus. So like, maybe I want to figure out something about my job, my day job. Well, why didn't I get this promotion? Why am I not getting this? What's in the gap? But my cards are giving me a message about, there you go. Yeah, but my cards are giving me, well, focus on your relationships with your partner. Focus on your friendships. And I'm just like, how do the two connect? Now, I might be able to figure out eventually with, extra meditation and time, but signifiers and significators I've come to find help me focus on the reading itself and the message of the reading, and not just a person or a client, but also timelines, and I'll get to that in just a second. So using a significator, first and foremost, can help bring a focus and a clarity, and also help take some of the emotional sting, emotional investment out of the reading, especially if it's personal. It can also help your client, if you're doing this for a client, come face to face with what's really holding them back. I had a client once who saw the Queen of Wands, and I'm like, this client, they are go-getter, they are feisty, and they looked at the Queen of Wands and said, I don't like her. And I thought, they're afraid. They're afraid of their own passion. They're afraid of acknowledging their passion to their self. Ooh, that's a good nugget. That's a wonderful thing I can work with. So, signifiers, significators bring some clarity and some wonderful, wonderful focus to the readings and are really great when you're trying to get an answer with tarot but can't seem to get clarity. So, that being said, how do you choose a signifier? Now, there are many methods under the sun. There are millions of methods, I'm sure, because there are millions of people doing readings. And I'm going to give you some basics that you can then take and run with. And some of it is very cross discipline. So let's start off with astrology, for example. I am not an astrologer. My mind for astrology is not quite there. It's very basic. It's very surface. But let's say, so I'm a Gemini. Do you have any Geminis here? If you're a Gemini, just say Gemini. Or how about this? Put in what your Queen of Swords, yes. Put into the comment section for me, what's your sun sign? We'll start with the sun signs there. You know, the core of our identity. For me, I'm a Gemini. And this is fairly common knowledge. In fact, some of this, again, came from Mary Kay Greer's book, Who Are You in Tarot? But let's see here, Libra Sun, Sun Gemini. But in the Gemini, what do we know about Geminis? Geminis, dual nature. They have two minds of things. They can seem fickle. They can seem passionate. They can seem... Sometimes they can be just downright catty or serious. Sagittarius. I'm going to have to take that one. I see lots of Libras, here, Aries. Well, Gemini, if I wanted to use that for myself in a tarot reading with the major arcana, would be the Lover's card. So let's say that I want to do a reading for myself, or a time reading for myself, and I want to start, I can put myself in the middle of this Lover's card. Now I all of a sudden have the focus. Let's see, so my Libras. So what do you guys, so Libras, scales, balance. What do you suppose the Libras would be in the major arcana? Any of my Libras know what their card is in the major arcana? So I see some Scorpios, and I say, okay, Aries. Exactly, Sheila, Justice card. Perfect. So, and you know me, I love my worksheets. I will be giving you a worksheet. I'll be giving you a worksheet that you can download directly from my website to work through all this. But as we go down the list of astrology signs and sun signs, we have Aries, the Emperor, Taurus, the Hierophant, Gemini, the Lovers, of course, Cancer, the Chariot, Leo, Strength, Virgo, the Hermit, Libra, Justice, Scorpio, Death, Sagittarius is Temperance, Capricorn is the Devil. Sorry, Capricorns. I don't know why the Devil, but sorry. Aquarius is the Star, and Pisces the Moon. So this will all be a nice little sheet that you can work with, but let's say you want to do some work with your astrology sun sign. You can use that as a correspondence. How can this also help you with other things in astrology? Well, moon sign. The moon sign, and this is from Channy Nicholas's website, moon sign is the emotions. Now, I was born, I get this backwards, I was born with a Capricorn moon. So my moon card is the Devil. And it sometimes does get me in trouble, but it can also, I can feel, like I'm unafraid to feel the depths, which is how I interpret that as well. I'm unafraid to feel the connection and all of that. We've got the rising sign or the ascendant, which is the excuse me, which is the motivation for living, as Channy Nicholas likes to say. The rising sign that I was born under is Cancer, which is the chariot. So, as people sometimes get to know me or first meet me, I can seem super reserved. And that's tend to be how I present myself to the world is I'm can be reserved, but I can also be very intuitive. I'm picking up on what people are saying and all of that. So you can see how, especially when wanting to learn astrology, this is how I've been doing it. I can use these different signs as a significator to say, well, why am I not making the impression that I want to make the impression on in the people around me? I might choose my rising sign signifier and do a reading in that way. Some Leos, some Aries. Like, I love it. We're just all love it. We're all over the place, and I just adore it. Now, let's say there are some other things you want to work on. So maybe you want to figure out, like, for example, romance. Romance is one of the big readings I always give, especially with single people. When am I meeting the right person? When am I, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if I'm going to be doing like a love reading and I want to choose a signifier, I might choose whatever sign their Venus was in. If I want to go through like things that have to do with physical nature and motivation and go get them, I might choose Mars. But you can see how using these different signifiers can help bring some clarity and focus to the reading. Now, I did see here, I'm going to go back to this. Suzanne said, I do not want to be death card. Well, Suzanne, the beautiful thing is, being a Scorpio, we have another set of people cards that we can use in place of those that might bring a little more human element, and that's our court cards. So if you're like, I want to keep that card in, or I don't want to take the card, I don't feel like the death card right now. Well, a Scorpio, that would be the King of Cups. For me, Cancer, Knight of Swords, always curious. So we can also use this connection to our sun sign with the court cards as well. So I'm just gonna randomly choose somebody. Jane, I didn't get to you, and you said that you are an Aries. Well, you would be the Queen of Wands in this instance. So, astrology connections, planets, signs, all of that, we have that as one realm. And if you have a mind for astrology, this would be a way to bring them in together. So far, so good, everybody? Yeah? I don't want to be too indulgent with my time because I want to make sure I leave time at the very end for questions because I love questions. Fabulous. So that's one method, astrology. Another method that I personally really enjoy, numerology. I'm a big old math nerd. Don't know why, I just love math. And numerology can also be another way for us to, one, figure out about ourselves, but also give us a point to create a signifier connection or a significator connection with our tarot cards. So, the two ones that I will focus on, because there are many different ones here. Suzanne, yeah, on the numerology, yes. So, the two that I tend to focus on for myself personally, I focus on my life path number, which is the addition of my month, day, and the year I was born. So for me, Stella Bohem, I was born June 19th in 1981, which if you add 6 plus 1 plus 9 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1, comes up to 35. And then in numerology, you take the 3 and the 5, add them together so you have a single digit, which is 8. So, my life path, if I'm thinking about life path, life mission, goal, all of that, my life path card is 8, which is the strength card. Now, I was born gay in the United States in the 90s, very, very, very close to Idaho. So if you don't know Idaho, Idaho is an incredibly conservative state. I want to say laughably so, but it is a very, very conservative state. So you can imagine how the strength card fits perfectly in with my life path, being an 8. Strength has been something that time and time again I've had to tap into and call upon. So, life path 7, we have Alvia at a 9. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys. So the weather decided to change very rapidly here in Florida. So it went from a 70 to 42, like it saw a state trooper on the highway. So I'm a little snuffly right now. Perfect. So let's take a few here. So Alvia, you're a 9. That means that you would be the hermit, the 9th one here. I saw a 7, Marion 7, Chariot. All of this life path 8 in Aries is a bit very much so in Florida's menopausal. I wish that it's so laughable. It's true. Life path 8 Aries. Yeah, see, Jane, you're a go-getter. You're a get up and go-getter type person. So, anyways, all right, let's go. Let's keep it on track here because Gemini brain. We like to talk, and I'm just gonna go everywhere. So that's one way. The destiny number, which is the number of your entire birth certificate name. I'm not going to do my full name. Well, let's do Stella Bohem here. I'm going to pull up my calculator. Math time, here and in the moment. Shall we do Stella Bohem? So the name that even though it's not my birth certificate name, we'll use it for the sake of argument here. So if I do Stella Bohem, so that's S plus T plus E plus L plus A plus B plus O plus H plus E plus M plus 8. All right. So Stella Bohem, my full name, adds up to 48. When I reduce that down, 4 plus 8 equals 12. Well, this time, if I choose to reduce it down, which I could, I know I can because that is part of what we can do. But where is my 12? Where is my 12? I'm looking for my 12. Of course, the 12 is the last one in the entire stack of cards I got. So I've got a 12, which is the Hanged Man. And then when I reduce that 1 to 2 down to 3, that's now the Empress. So you can see Hanged Man, Empress energy, creation, patience is going to be a big lesson for me. Perspective is a big lesson for me as well. If I'm learning about my careers or my career path as a drag queen here, you can see how being patient, finding the right opportunities would be something a lesson for me to learn. So, Light Seer Stress is my favorite, still my favorite. So, say I want to do a reading on that. I can choose either one of those. Those would be the two big ones that I could use: my life path number, my full birth date, and my destiny number, my full birth certificate name, to come up with that signifier. You also, I think you can see here too how doing some of this work and then translating over to the tarot kind of gives you a heads up on, this gives me an idea. This gives me an idea of that some things that I've experienced growing up or as I move through life make a lot of sense. Because when I started doing this work for myself and started practicing this for myself, it made a lot of sense too. Cool. Let me get back on track here. So birth dates, destiny number, life path, all of that can help us choose a signifier. Now, here's something that I think will help, especially in terms of predictive tarot. Let's say I want to figure out what my 44th turn around the sun will be like. So at that time, I can take the day that I was born, and then the year I turned 44, which would be 2025, and use that as a way to say, well, what's the year going to look like, and what can I expect in this year? So if I take 6 plus 19, which is 25, plus 2025, yeah, equals 34, which is a 7. Well, as we discussed a little earlier, I don't think we did discuss this earlier, never mind, but 7 is the number that I can plan on for the year 2025, for my 44th year on Earth. That's the Chariot. So the card of motion, the card of moving quickly. Already I have a sense of what's going to happen for the next year. On a personal note, my day job, I just found out I got a very big promotion that will take place and take full effect in 2025. I'm saying that to you not just for the congratulations, but you can see how I'm going to be doing something in a completely new department, in a completely new location. It's going to be quick learning, lots of new skill sets that I'll be learning, lots of new systems I'll be learning, on top of traveling a lot here doing this. So you can see how all of a sudden now the Chariot makes a lot of sense. Not only am I going to be doing something completely new and going real quick, but I'm going to be traveling a lot more as Stella doing tarot gigs. So 2025 is going to be a big year for me, just by knowing it is my Chariot year. So far so good, yeah? I know I've been talking a lot here, and please, if you have questions, share with me. I would love to, I love to have the dialogue here. Cool, 132, great. So, I'm going to do a little bit of a shift now, because we've talked about astrology, we've talked about numerology. I'm going to go now into just straight intuition. The third, and sometimes the most rewarding, but also the most open mind requiring, is just intuition. With this, you can just spread the cards out, choose a card, and then that is your signifier. Now, that takes a lot of humility, and that takes a lot of self-reflection, because let's say I'm just going through my Light Seers Tarot and I want to say, what is my signifier for the day, or what is my signifier for December? 5 of Wands. How can I use this as my signifier? Well, that promotion that I told you about officially takes place December 1st. I will be transferring to that department December 1st, learning all the new systems. And I will also be in a new location that I've never been in before, so I get to learn the location as well, because what I will be doing will be supporting that location in its operation. It's going to be a little chaotic. I'm going to be learning a lot of new things. So, you can see how I could just look at it and say, well, that's not a person, that has nothing to do with me, that does take a lot of humility. And here's a tip, or here's a practice that you can use to figure out if this is for you or not. In this, that 5 Christmas shopping in December, yes. Thankfully, I don't work retail anymore. So, this is one that you can try for yourself at a later point in time. Take your cards and then do 3 or 4 piles in front of you and just ask the cards, what's my signifier for today, or month, or year, whatever. Choose whatever time frame you want. And then just hold your hands over it. And this is where you're just getting a feel for the energy of the cards. This is something I used to like doing to test my intuition, to try out my intuition. I found that if a card was warm, it was right side up, and if a card was cold, it was upside down. So I would test it and say, okay, is this Is this my mind playing tricks on me, or is this me trusting my intuition? And so when you get to a point where you just feel like, okay, this is the one, pull that card up and see how it applies. You could get fancy if you wanted to use a pendulum. You could use a pendulum. If you want to use dowsing rods, you could use that too. It's your practice. Do what works for you. But solid intuition. Sometimes that's all you need. Solid intuition. Because that's also going to be a surefire way for you to trust the intuition. And when your intuition's on and you trust that intuition, I can guarantee you that reading's going to be incredible. Now, this is going to be kind of one of my shorter talks here, so I'm not going to belabor a lot of this anymore. There are other things that you can take into consideration too, and I feel like this, I get a tingle in my left hand, amazing, Stevie, and thank you so much for sharing that. I feel like too that there are other ways that you can go about doing it, and I feel like this is where you can also express your own individuality and your own style and your own flair for reading when it comes to choosing a signifier. For example, don't discount oracle cards. Every year I like to write a prediction, a Wheel of the Year prediction, and I will do the numerology of the year. So we're going into a 9-year, which is, I want to say, the Hermit. Let me double check. Here, yeah. So 2025, already I'm like, I can already say, well, this is going to be a Hermit year. But I also truly love Chinese astrology. It is so incredible because instead of it going by the months and by the movements of the moon and all of that, it actually goes by the year. So every 12 years it resets. You've probably seen the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac. Well, there's a nuance to them as well. You're not just one of those 12 animals. There's an element. There are 5 elements that it could be mixed in with too. So it could be fire, water, wood, metal, or earth. Well, next year, and this is actually from Vicky Iskandar's Chinese 5-element oracle here. So if you have any interest in Chinese astrology, highly recommend this deck. It's wonderful. But next year is going to be the year of the wood snake, which it says here, enjoy the waiting game. So already it's going to be a year of learning how to be patient, learning patience with the self, learning patience with letting things unfold. So when I do my predictions for the year, which I post up on my blog, I have the Hermit and I have the wood snake, both of which are about patience, self-reflection, and all those things that require you to sit still. I'm a Gemini, I don't sit still. So you can tell that 2025 is going to definitely be an interesting year for me, learning how to slow down. If you do any sort of work with gods and goddesses and you have a favorite gods and goddess oracle deck, pull one of those out. Who do you want to walk with today? That works too. A lot of all that I'm giving you here is just the jumping off point. I want you to consider this the springboard that you can jump into as you explore signifiers, explore significators, explore utilizing them in your practice and practicing with them. You might even decide that you want to do Tarot Lenormand crossover, or Kipper Tarot crossover, or Rune Tarot crossover. But whatever is going to help you, and whatever is going to help you focus and help you bring some clarity to your reading, I'm all for. Well, we're right at 40 minutes. I'm not gonna go any too much further into this here. I am going to share with you that I will have a handout that lists the 3 methods I gave you: the astrology, numerology, intuition methods, which includes also information from other people. So Mary Kay Greer's 2 books, Tarot for Yourself and Who Are You in the Tarot, are listed as a resource. Corinne Kenner's Tarot and Astrology. I would like to take some of this last little bit and just answer questions for you or comments or what would you, or if there's anything you would like me to reiterate, please share. I'm all about the questions. I would love to hear your thoughts on signifiers. I would love to hear, if you don't have a question, how you want to go about using this or what method you think will help you out with this. So we're going to let the next couple of minutes, this next 5 minutes, just be nice and open to you. And please ask me a question. I haven't liked pulling a signifier because I don't like to eliminate that card as a possibility in my spread thoughts. Stacy, what I would say for you in that instance is if you have another tarot deck that you can pull it out of, you could do that. So say you've got the Rider-Waite-Smith that you're working with. You can pull like the Light Seer Tarot or a different deck, put it in front, and then do a spread around that. Let's see. Do you find Stella chooses different significators than Patrick? So Tony, honestly, I don't, because I like to say that Stella and Patrick are. If Patrick's the magician, Stella is the high priestess. Lately, Patrick has been very much in Emperor mode, whereas Stella's been very much in Empress mode. But the two, for me personally, since the two reside together, I fluidly move through both. So that's one. That's insightful thing. I'm so glad you love it, Stacy. Thank you. I only use a significator unless reading on a spouse or a child for queer. Nice. Two halves. Exactly. So, and remember again, I'm a Gemini. I'm a Gemini on the cusp of Cancer. So there's two people under the shell, literally. Twins on the half shell. So yeah, great. Well. Any other comments or thoughts? Other things you might want to consider too, and this is actually brought up by my incredible fiance, David. If you do readings for pets, he said you should bring Cypress out and do a reading for her. Well, she's asleep right now. I won't do it. But what do I know about my little Cypress? Well, I know she's a fighter. I know she has a fire in her. So right now, to me, she is the Page of Wands because she went from barely able to move and meow, and in a week she's turned around to playing, to energy, vivacious. So I know this little girl has got she's got it in her to live. So she's my little page of wands right now. Actually she's more like my Knight of Wands. So appeal to me with tarot. With Lenormand, I do not feel this at all. I thank you so much for sharing that with me, Suzanne, because I would recommend Tony's course on Lenormand as well, because I learned a lot from that with her, and then also Erica Robinson's book, Language of Lenormand, helped with that too. Yeah, absolutely. If it invites you, I just love it. So yes, Mary. So let me see if she is willing to go on camera. Give me 1 second, guys. Hey, little girl. Hey, little girl. Hey, little girl. You want to see some people? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, come on up. Alright, so this is a world exclusive here, everybody. I want you to meet Cypress. She's my little fighter here. Yeah, I want you to meet Cypress. I woke her up from her nap, so she's a little cranky, but that's my little girl. This is my little daughter, Cypress. So, yeah, so she is my little Knight of Wands. Yeah, hi, Cypress. Yeah, all right. She's being a moody daughter, so I'm gonna put her back to sleep here. Thank you, my darling. All right, good girl. That's a good girl. Alrighty, friends, it's at about 1:45. Thank you so much for joining me. I will leave the... Give me 1 second here. I am going to share with you the place where you can find the worksheet where you're working with this. It is tiny, so I had to reformat it and do a little bit of... Oh, I hear you. I'll feed you in a second. Oh, now she's meowing. So, that is where you can find the worksheets here, as well as worksheets for my previous talks with the World Divination Association. If you want to see those, I have those previous talks up on my YouTube channel as well. In the meantime, thank you all for sitting and listening to me talk for 45 minutes. It has been an absolute joy, as always, to be here. And I am going to also share with you, and I'm going to lean in on Tony and Jane for this. I have now created my very first Tarot and Oracle card course for the World Divination Association. It is Tarot and Business. So please give that a check out. As soon as it gets up, then I'll lean in on them when that's, so I'm sure Tony and Jane will let you know when that's available. In the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of these incredible talks and these incredible speakers, and make it a magical day, all you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beings. And I will see you on the next one.